What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I am going to do a couple of quick little hairstyles for you guys today. Some of the emails that I've been getting lately and a couple of the chats that I've been having with you guys have to do with not knowing how to tease your hair, and they've just kind of been based upon some of the styles that you guys have seen on Instagram or in my YouTube channel here with the videos. And so I just wanted to show you guys like a couple of different hairstyles. I think I'm probably just going to do two just for the sake of time in this video on how to do a couple different things with your hair. My hair is about, what is today? Today's Saturday when I'm filming, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, technically 4 days dirty roughly. And so I find that typically my hair does the best, not the first day when I first wash it because it's like so soft it doesn't want to do anything. It needs a little grit. But it'll do really well on day 2, 3, and so on and so forth until I decide to wash it again. And so that's kind of how I get that grit with my hair with some of the styles that you guys see me doing. So I kind of want to show you how I tease my hair, and I haven't really even brushed it. I actually just pulled it down out of a messy bun. When I go to bed at night, what I've been trying to do is brush the tease out of it from that day just so it doesn't get matted. I have fine hair and I don't have like a lot of hair. It's not super thick, but it's not super thin. However, if I leave a bunch of tease in that crown, it can get really matted feeling and it's tough to try to style. So I've been trying to remember to brush it out, and that way I can put the dry shampoo in at night to keep me from getting oily, and then it will tend to hold a little bit better the next day. So let's jump right in and get started, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do a couple of basic hairstyles for me that tend to be my go-tos. So I'm just gonna start by brushing my hair, and I may have to take off my glasses because they might get caught. So that should be interesting because I wasn't planning on doing this. And also this choker necklace it's so cute, but it's like, I think I tied it too tight. And so I feel like there's circulation just not happening in my neck. So that's just grand. So you know what? And I can still see you guys. I'm probably gonna have marks on my nose, but it'll be all right. I'm gonna take those off because I cannot do my hair with my glasses on. The good news is I'm nearsighted, so I can see things up close. It's just like not far away that I can see. Okay, anyway, back to this. I'm just gonna brush through my hair as I have. It does have dry shampoo in it, and it's actually on my hands now from running it through from last night. So I'm not really gonna do any other dry shampoo in it just because it doesn't need it. All you're gonna need is a rat tail comb like this. You can buy a pack of these in any drugstore. I get like 3 packs because then I can keep one in my purse, I can keep one in my bathroom, and I can keep one in my beauty studio. Just, you know, I kind of have them everywhere. And then of course, y'all know my favorite rubber bands, the ones that, what is it? Will not break your hair. False. These are my favorite rubber bands, and they are brunette. And then of course some bobby pins if we need them, and a paddle brush. Okay, so let's start with that hairstyle that actually I kind of got a lot of compliments on Instagram, and it was the one that is like halfway up in like a high, little fancy, woo, cute, this one. So what I'm gonna do is just, I grab my hair probably from like, not quite the temple, but not quite the, like where your lines would be here, like not in the center, but that part. So I go a little bit further out. I'm not even sure what this part of your forehead is called, but that's where I go, is right here. And I just run my fingers through it like so and pick up hair. I do try to make sure that like the sides here where it breaks or where you actually section it off look fairly even, like when I'm looking at it. And as long as that looks pretty even, that's typically what I will go with. Oh, another thing to mention, my hair was curled on Wednesday when I went to the hair salon. So what I have done the past couple of days to keep that is, obviously I use hairspray, but we have some humidity going on down here. It's a little cooler today. But I have recurled or touched up a few of the curls over the last couple of days. Whenever I do curl my hair on day 1, I love to try to ride that curl out as long as I can because I don't typically wear my hair curly too often. Just from, my hair is like straight as a board, you guys. So any humidity at all, it will just fall right out. So anyway, so I try to keep it as long as I can. So I haven't touched it up, and we're just gonna kind of let it do what it does. So that's the part that I'm gonna use, or that's the amount of hair that I'm gonna use for the style. And then what I'm gonna do after I've kind of brushed it out like I have for the last 30 seconds is I'm just going to, and I'm actually gonna try to turn to the side so you guys can see this, or maybe even, you know what, I'm gonna turn to the back. Let's see how that goes. It's gonna be funny. All right, so hopefully y'all can see, and I got nothing going on crazy back here. If I do, just let it be. All right, so I'm just gonna take this part of my hair and go 1, 2, 3. And then I will, this is where you need like a back camera or somebody filming for you. I'll let that fall, and then I will just kind of fiddle through it here with the next section. And guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. We already know what we're using to put in the ponytail, so it doesn't need to be perfect. So then I'll take that next front section that I have, and it's not perfect. If I bend down, you can probably see that part isn't like exactly straight across. It just is. I'm just letting it do its thing. Grab what I can, and then 1, 2, and 3. And now I have a nice puff ball on the top of my head. And so you can gather up that hair that you just teased. I do like to just not brush it out, but kind of, I would say, give it a little bit of a comb through, just so it's not super like balled up and ratted up. You can always pull it back out. So then just put your little rubber band in. And I tie these, depending on how much hair I have, 2 to 3 times. And I like this pony high. I want to bring it as high as I can. So I pull up high from the top of my head, and I start bringing it down as I pull, and as you can see, it'll start to fan out. And then this part of my hair where all that tease was, this is where you can get that volume back, since it's kind of like, it's not super tight, but it's tighter than I want it. So then you can just give it a little yank, a soft yank, and pull it out. And then you can center that pony back up on the top of your head. And that really is it. If I don't have, when my hair is straight, I don't feel like I have enough volume back here to keep it high. So sometimes I will kind of like take this top part where that pony is and just give a little tease and then let it out just to give it some more volume. But this is like my favorite go-to hairstyle right now. If you have a thicker hair, you're gonna love this style because you will have so much kind of hanging down, kind of cascading down your back. It'll look amazing. So this is what it looks like for me, and that is how I tease that. So I'm going to strip this off, and then what we'll do is I'll show you guys how I will tease for like a side part and do a side pony, and then I think we'll call that good and see what you guys think of that. And if you want to see more hairstyles or other things that I'm doing, just comment below and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so I'm back for style 2. So I just took that first style that we did down. So what I'm gonna do now is I part my hair all different ways. I can go down the middle, I can go to the left, go to the right, whatever side you part your hair down, it doesn't matter, the concept is still the same. So for the sake of just me feeling like it's easier to do on one side versus another, I'm gonna part my hair over this way. So I'm just gonna take my rat tail comb. I did not brush out any of the tease that I just did for you guys for that other style, so it might get a little, it actually might be easier to do just because of that. Or it could look a little wonky, either way. Okay, so it's parted somewhat. So let me just brush out, and be easy when you brush out your tease, you guys. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how many times I have ripped hair right out my head. You know. So wait, let me tell you guys a funny story. So as you guys know, if you've been following me for a little bit, and if you were even on Instagram Live with me, I was kind of sharing that I used to be such a huge tomboy, and when I would try hairstyles when I was a kid, I would get so aggravated. This is no joke. This is embarrassing. I don't even know why I'm telling you guys this, but I'm going to. I would hit myself in the head with a brush because I would get so frustrated. So let me just say this to you. If you're getting frustrated with stuff you're doing, just keep practicing and don't beat yourself up like figuratively or literally. Like just keep practicing, because I promise you that at some point you're gonna do one of these styles and it's just gonna click. You're gonna see something that you did correct and you're gonna know, like correct for you, it's not like a correct way, but correct or what works for you. And then it's just gonna get easier for you to do. So just hang with it, just keep trying it. Don't give up, and I promise you at some point you're gonna like you're gonna contact me on Instagram or here and say, Lauren, I did it. I can't believe it. I did it, because I know what that's like, you guys. I remember the first time that I mastered a hairstyle that I had been trying for weeks and just could not get. So stay with it, keep trying it, and I promise you, once you do that, you'll gain some confidence and things will just get a little easier as you keep going. Okay, hairstyle 2. I brushed out my tease for the most part. This part's still a little high and it's still a little tease, so I'm not gonna have to do much. But what I do when I part my hair to the side, and let's just say we're gonna do, let's just maybe do one of these like side ponies here that have a little volume back here. So that's what we'll do. Super easy here. I'm just gonna take this front section of my hair. I kind of like to let sit out, if you will, and not involve that in the tease. So I go maybe, I don't know, it's not quite like halfway back, maybe like a quarter of the way back on my head. And I'm just gonna run that rat tail comb all the way down to the top of my ear and pull that hair apart. Hopefully I got it all. And your section might be a little uneven, and that's totally okay. So if you're kind of a perfectionist like I am and you want it even, just go back through and pull out whatever hair is uneven. And I can't see because I have hair in my face and hair. Okay, so that's like good enough. So what I'll do then is take this section of hair. This is the section we're not gonna tease. You can do a couple things. If you feel like it's funky in your face while you're trying to style, just pin it back or, you know, put it in a rubber band. I'm just gonna let it hang. I used to, when I first started, I would put my hair like in a, I would section off ponytails so that I wouldn't get the hairs mixed up. I was too afraid to get sections mixed up. So if that works for you, try it and you can totally do that. There's no right or wrong way. Okay, so then I'm just gonna brush through that part, and then I'm actually gonna take and start pulling from this section right where I am already parted right here. I want to take my rat tail comb and do that same part right there on the other side, even though I'm parted down the side. Whoops, we want to pull up that too. So then basically what I have, or what I'm creating, is I have my side part, but I have this section of hair at the crown of my head that we're actually going to tease to give me some volume for that hairstyle. So then what I will do is take my paddle brush and I'll just, let's brush through those ends, and I'll brush through any other tease that's in that. So we've kind of got a clean slate. I'm going to turn around for you guys again to show you, A, it's not perfect in the back. It doesn't have to be. So let me turn around. So then I'm just going to take that same part, 1, 2, and 3. And you can see I let it down and it has volume. So I'll just hold that, spin back around. Okay, so I'll let that, well actually, you know what? I'm not going to let it fall. I'm just going to hold on to it. I'm just gonna put my comb kind of just in the center of that hair that I've got going there and pull up and grab this section, and see how I missed some hair, so that's okay. Just pick it back up, pull it up, and even this right here, I'll pull into it. Brush that out, and then you can just 1, 2, and 3 again, let it fall. So you can also section off if you find it easier to go from the front to the back. That's fine too. I think I'm doing it the opposite way just to kind of show you guys what it looks like in the back, because sometimes I feel like you can do this in the front and flip this forward and it's easier, and then you can go to the next section and flip, you know, tease it and then flip it forward. So if you do it that way, that works too. I do both. I just thought you guys might want to see what it looks like from the back with how we're doing it. So anyway, there's that. So I'm just gonna brush through that, or comb rather. It's not a brush. Just make sure that, like, you don't want it to look super ratty, because then remember we can always pick it back up what we've teased if it gets too tight to our head. Okay, so then I'm just gonna gather my hair, and I'm actually gonna use one of these black rubber bands that are on my hand, just because I don't like these tight little rubber bands for my whole head. It just, they break and it feels too tight, and then it definitely does break my hair. So I'm just gonna gather my hair in a very low pony and smooth out any of the sides, like where I get kind of, where it looks like a ball of hair sticking out, a rat's nest. That's not cute, don't have a rat's nest. And I'm just gonna pull it like right behind the side of my ear. I like to wear my hair to the side a lot because I like to see the actual hair from my pony. Otherwise I feel like I look like I have a pixie cut. So then I'll pull it to the side, and we're just gonna rubber band it off. And it's gonna get real tight and like lopsided. Oh, that's right in the lipstick. It's gonna look very I mean, no one wants to wear their hair like that. That looks ridiculous, but that's okay because we'll fix it. So then you just tighten your rubber band as tight as you want it. And now this is the fun part. So what I do is everything is really tight back here too. I will actually just take my hands and like pull it forward just a little bit and out. So then we start to get rid of some of that lopsided that's way high up here and low here. You can actually take your comb. This is what I love. This is what makes this so simple. I used to get so freaked out. Like, how do those girls get their hair so high without messing it up? Because I would try it and try pulling all these little hairs and then I would have hair sticking out everywhere. That does not work. Don't do that. Try and do this because you have more control with like a whole end of this comb inside your hair versus your fingers pulling stuff out, if that makes any sense. So that's what I do to make it work. I just cannot do those little, it doesn't work for me. Anyway, so take your comb and just slightly pull out. And if you get something that's too far out, you can bobby pin it in. It's not a big deal. So sometimes like I'll get to where something looks a little off and I'll just like pick at the hair until I get it where I want it. And even here looks a little lopsided. So I'll just slightly, I'm not even like I'm not taking hair out and pulling it, like squeezing it. I'm just kind of grabbing a section and just like pulling it against my head, if you will, so that I don't yank out like what I was just saying with those little hairs going everywhere. And then you've got several bumps instead of just one bump that goes all the way over. And that's it, you guys. You can totally take this if you want and wrap around if you like to hide your ponies, which I do a lot of times. I will take this and just take a piece of hair that's kind of thinner so you don't get your pony that thin if you have thinner hair. If you got thicker hair, you can do what you want. And then I will just like bobby pin that so it sits right here. You can also use those bobby pins that aren't regular bobby pins. I don't even know what they're called actually. Hair pins, that's what they are. I didn't grab any. I find that those are really difficult for me to get my hair to stay in. And I just haven't, after all these years, I haven't mastered how to use those very well. So that's all it is. Okay, so that's that. And then you just spray it. Give it a little spritz. Just looking in the viewfinder here to make sure it looks okay that way because I'm looking down in this mirror, so that's really weird. And there you have it, you guys. This is how you tease your hair. I promise you it's not that difficult. You just got to work at it and then, sight. And then once you get it, you can actually start working towards more like braids and all that kind of stuff. So, as always, if you're loving what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you become a part of this reformed tomboy family that we're creating here. As well as don't forget to hit that notification bell. That's going to be the best way for you to get notified when I upload new content. And then, of course, I would love to see your recreations on social media. So find me on Facebook. Just search my name, Lauren Carone. The link is also below. Or you can see it in this video. And also my Instagram, same thing. I want to be tagged in what you guys are doing. So come find me there. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and I will see you in my next video.